So I said, well, let's get people walking the land. I said, like, it's the perfect guy to do this. Geology professor, assemblyman, yeah, in SUNY. So these New York City architects, you know, these guys are tough old guys, and they're walking 2.5 hours out in the dew and getting their shoes dirty. And then, why are we doing this? It's a pain in the neck. It's cold. I want my cup of coffee. They're kind of, yeah, right. Well, at the end of this 2.5 hours, I wish I'd had one of these little cameras, because these guys were like a bunch of kindergartners coming back from a field trip. They were so excited. One guy said, "Who knew? Yeah. Who knew it worked like this? This is so cool." And so what's cool about it is that if you can get people to experience life.
Inquiry.
Well, it's more than inquiry. It's exciting stuff. Yes, it is inquiry. It's stuff they don't know.
Yeah.
That they didn't know.
It's approaching the world from a place of question.
But they didn't question it initially, but they were exposed to some new ways.
Kids. Yeah,
exactly. And they were energized. And with that, then, we were able to have a great discussion about what this stuff means. If we hadn't had that, they would have said, like the businessman that Brian's talking, okay, who cares? Mr. Football player, who cares? Mr. Architect, who cares? So the experience of place, and this is where I was getting to with the sports complexes, if you can get people to experience the outer rings and how life is working in their community, it's going to inform that complex in a different way, Brian.
And that's the invitation is created by using the sports model.
Sure.
Yeah. But part of the invitation is to go, by the way, to make this whole project happen, I guess I have to do this. By the way, to make the whole project happen, what they have to do is they have to now be introduced to, here are all the different processes, here are all the different opportunities, here are all the different learning centers that are happening as a result of this project going forward. And then invite them into being a part of it and then coming to play. As a way, hold on a second, as a way for them to realize, you know, what they see themselves or what's in it for them and their community. Okay, sorry.
The field, if you will, in the community's situation is their place. That's their playing field.
Right.
I mean, if you can make that analogy, because that's the rules of the game. You have the rules about out of bounds and so many yards and where the goalposts are.
Everyone knows the rules.
Well, they know the rules. We have to know the rules.
Yes. Which goes back to what you were saying earlier about so much of the success on a team is understanding the goal, understanding I'm trying to remember the word you used.
What we get out of it, the core objectives and the ultimate outcomes, yeah.
That was a really powerful thing, actually, that in your sort of summary we didn't kind of go back to, but this idea of when you understand, you create a structure, let there be structure, and then move on, you know, sort of let it be chaos within that structure, but the structure has to exist. That's sort of just a sense of space, a sense of what is the place that we're in. And then what? Then how do you sort of let go of that and just be the kid, be in a place of inquiry, be in a place of not knowing what you don't know, and just sort of feel and explore and let things unfold from there.
And that chaos, it feels like chaos, but that's a feeling of creation.
Yeah.
That's creation happening, right?
Well, and that's what expands the field.
Yeah.
So that we can understand those interconnections.
And it links it. That's where the links arrive.
That is where the links are.